Shalom to the hopeful elect. Let us give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Recha HaKodash. Double honor to our elders and apostles of the great millstone, their elders, bishops and apostles, and elders, and Akim, risking their lives week in and week out. Shalom, salutations. Also, shalom to the rest of the elect, the men, women, and children supporting the ministry and doing their best to keep the law, statutes, and commandments while keeping faith in Yahweh Shai. Peace and salutation be unto you. I want to pull up this before I get into this video. I want to ask a question. That's how we're going to start this one off. How many nuclear homes, nuclear families, I'll say. That's good. I'm glad y'all said nuclear families did feminism gotta be careful. Derive, deal with, defeat, deny, destroy. Y'all gonna give me that? Say they don't want to give me that. All right, we're gonna go there and see what they say. Destroy. Reddit. We never get Reddit. Then it's always some bullshit. Feminism has destabilized the American family. New York Post. Toxic. How modern feminism has destroyed American society. All right. Okay. How patriarchy destroyed the traditional American nuclear family. Let's get a definition on nuclear family. AI overview. A nuclear family typically consists of two parents, often married, and their children, living together in one household. It's sometimes referred to as an elementary family, atomic family, or a conjugal family. The nuclear family is distinct from extended family structures, single-parent households, and families with more than two parents. All right. You can go over that on your own time. But this right here, the nuclear family, this has been a long deceased construction of America. You could say from its inception, as a matter of fact, when you go back to slavery, when you go back to colonization and the structure that the so-called white man, Esau Edom, implemented on this land, separating, through slavery, separating fathers from mothers and mothers from children and so on and so forth, right? That's the inception of this place, a land built on blood, all right, in which America has to be destroyed, whether you like it or not, whether you understand it or not, according to the word of Yahweh Yahweh Shai, because the way this land has been taken over. Because, when the Northern Kingdom was over here, it was, for the most part, a decent place. But when it was taken over by Esau Edom, according to his promise, not his promise, but according to his blessing, that was it forever. That was it, that this place was going to be destroyed because of those that came over here and did what they had to do prophetically. All right, pursuant to Genesis chapter 49, pursuing Deuteronomy 28, putting the children of Israel into captivity. They had to play out their part, being the vessels of wrath. All right, and feminism played a great part in that in that wrath. Uh, let's go back here. How does feminism affect families? Feminist movements have contributed to shifting social activities and norms regarding family roles. This change is evident in the increasing number of men participating in household chores and child care. Changing social norms reflect a growing awareness of the importance of shared responsibilities in family life. Okay, now the thing is, what we're about to see, what we're about to witness is the time that we're growing and growing into is that men have become feminized and women have become somewhat masculine, but the roles have changed because a man can become feminized and he plays the role of a caretaker, you know, the nice guy, the typical nice guy, which society shits on, you know, which women shit on day and night, all the year round, you know. But this is the society that they created, right? You know, you're a genuine. You start as a young man, a young boy. Your mom tell you things like treat women nice and you know be good to girls and don't hit them and all this shit. And women are taught, and young girls are taught to be masculine, like defend yourself and fight. You know, fight. Don't let no man put his hand. Don't let no man talk shit to you. Talk back to you. Stand up. And this is the irregularity that's been spawned since the 70s, the 60s, 70s. I grew up through the 80s and the 90s having to go through this shit as a young man. I got hit in the balls because of a bitch. And I was trying to be nice. I was trying to be nice. You know, I could be a little sarcastic, you know, and it just wasn't taken the right way. But you know, I if I didn't fall on the ground, I would have probably strangled that chick. You know, what? Probably. I was in high school at the time. I was like probably 15, 16. But anyway, man, let me stop flashbacking. But hey, instead of women being the feminine, or being feminine, right? Feminism gave them a will, matter of fact, let's go here. The Lord spoke about it. The Lord mentioned it. He said in Isaiah 3. Let me see. What the hell was that? Jeremiah. I keep on forgetting that. Jeremiah 31 and 22. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? All right. You daughters of Zion, how long are you gonna go backwards? How are you gonna keep on going sliding backwards? Right? They call it backsliding. And this is one of the only particular verses I recall them talking about is the daughters of Zion sliding backwards, being haughty, disrespectful, no discipline, not feminine, but a feminist. All right? There's gonna come a time where y'all don't have to get it right now, but it's gonna come a time, and we're about to show a couple of clips right quick. That's gonna show you men are no longer gonna come to your aid, to your help, to your defense, because you haven't stepped up and played your natural role. You haven't stepped up and played your natural role, especially the women that the Lord is working through the Spirit. Believe me, women, it's hard. I understand that things are not sisters. I mean, not just women, but sisters. It's hard because these men out here don't understand what's about to happen. But the Lord going to remove them out of your life. The Lord going to set you up if you keep that faith. You know, and for those women that do have men that the Lord is working with, He's going to uplift those men. And if you got the characteristics of keeping that faith, of not constantly backsliding into the ways of the world, and you're focusing on what Yahweh Shemel Shai tell you a woman's place is, hey man, you're gonna you're gonna be okay. I'll leave it at that. All right. The Lord is posing a question. He said, "How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing in the earth, feminism, right? Where a woman shall compass a man." The same thing with all of us in these days and time. The Lord did something new. You know, when the children of Israel went into captivity this last time, we were stripped of our heritage. We were stripped of our homeland, of our customs. We were even stripped of the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, starting with the Grecian captivity, right? And generations going on and going by, we were trained to forget our history, all right? But now we're being brought into remembrance, all right? The role of the man, the role of the woman. What's that? 1 Corinthians chapter 11, the order. But let me get this clip, and we'll just go from there. I don't want to just keep on rambling.
Anyway, I'm going to tell you how childlike women are. Women want to be able to do what they want to do and be the most untraditional version of woman that we've ever seen, all the while having the most traditional man. They want
I agree with
no
that.
granddad, but they want to go out there and have a hot girl summer. And
I agree.
You just take care of me.
It's weird that women have fought for equality, where we have the right to work, make our own money, be equal to men, but then at the same time, don't want to go half on the date, don't want to go half on bills. We don't want to perform our traditional roles anymore. No, we are not your slaves, but you men are our slaves. You must still fulfill your traditional expectations. We get to do what we want to do, but you need to do what you have to do. It doesn't make any sense, does it? What do you guys think?
I think you've been watching my content because I literally been saying the exact same thing verbatim.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. Y'all heard it.
I could never be a man. Men suffer in silence a lot.
Transitioning to women, but you don't hear about women transitioning to men like that. Yeah, that right there alone should tell you who has it easier. But yeah, let the women tell you different. Anyway, without further ado, here's a woman actually with some damn sense. Let's go ahead and get into it.
I could never be a man. Men suffer in silence a lot. Yes, us as women, especially a black woman, we go through a lot automatically. Everybody knows that there's a lot of struggles that we face. But imagine being a man and you are told that crying is seen as weak, take care of everything, and fuck your feelings, fuck how you feel, get up, provide this, do that. And then the minute you try to speak up or express yourself, you are called sassy, weak, doing too much. Just a man expressing himself in general is like seen in a negative light. I don't know about y'all, but I'm a crybaby. And I can only imagine me trying to cry and express my feelings and someone telling me, shut the fuck up. How you feel does not matter. You still need to get up. You still need to go provide this. You still need to go and do that. If I had to choose between being a man or a woman, knowing what I know about what the two face, I would choose being a woman every single time. I hope you guys are okay because I couldn't be in your shoes. Who takes care of the man? Who looks after the man? I don't care what y'all say, and I'll die on the hill by myself. I'm taking care of my man. I don't want him to feel like when he's with me, he's up against the world. I want my man to look at me and see relief. I want him to look at me like, oh my goodness, like, yes, I don't got to worry about doing all that extra crazy stuff while still being the head, while still being a man, while still being a provider. But he knows he has a helpmate. He knows that some of that weight is alleviated and lifted off of his shoulders because you know what I'm saying? Like, you carry that other half. But I can't be no man. I can't be no man. I don't care what y'all say. I don't want to be equal to a man. For all of you saying you want to be equal to a man, you're on your own.
Checkers and rallies.
Good point. Good point. Like I said, we're gonna get back to the basics. Get back to the basics of order. Beautiful. 1 Corinthians chapter 11. Start at verse 1. Be ye followers of me, even as I am also the most of anointed, the anointed Yahweh Shai. Now I praise you, brethren, that you remember me in all things, and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you. But I will have you know that the head of every man, of Israel, all right, because this is a letter that went out to the children of Israel, to the men of Israel, to the churches in Corinth and all the other neighboring churches, that was being brought up, after Yahweh Shai's, ascension, after his resurrection, all right. And Paul goes into it. He says, now I praise you, brethren, that you remember me in all things and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you. But I will have you know that the head of every man, every Israelite man, is the anointed Yahweh Shai. And the head of every woman is the man. And the head of the anointed Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly called Christ and Jesus. The head of Yahweh Shai is the Most High, our power Yahweh. Okay? And that's the point. That's the point. We're not going to go into too much more right there. Matter of fact, we can go here. Verse 8. For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man. And for that, we can go to Genesis from the beginning, right? 3. No, it's not in 3. Salakia. It's not in 3. Genesis 2. The water Yahweh. Genesis 2. I'll go there. Do the Blue Letter Bible. Genesis chapter 2. I'm gonna give it some time, Salakia. I just learned how to do the little skip thing. 2 and 18. Right. Genesis 2 and 18, it says, and the Lord thy power, or the Lord God, Yahweh Bashmi Yahweh Shai, our power, said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him an helpmeet for him. Let's get that definition. What helpmeet? What does helpmeet mean? Helpmeet.
Strong's H 5828. AZ.
Help. Succor. One who helps. Why in this society, in American society, especially after feminism, it's all about a man helping the woman. That's not how it was written from the beginning. From the beginning, the Lord created a woman to be a helpmeet. to help the man on the mission that the Lord has him on. Because what are the women doing? Indulging in pleasure, which is death, which is dwelling among the congregation of the dead. A woman that has a man that the Lord is working with is in light, is in life. Because he's grabbing onto the words of Yahweh. He's grabbing onto the words of Yahweh, which is Yahweh Shai. His head, which is life. Yahweh Shai is life. The words of Yahweh is life. But the majority of the people out here is all about carnality and death and darkness and confusion. And those are the things that most women rather gravitate to, because most women want pleasure. Like the elders and apostles always saying, like that song from old girl, Sydney Hopper or whatever, girls just want to have fun. What's that, Madonna or Sydney Hopper or whatever her name is? Girls just want to have fun, right? She that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. And a man without wisdom dwelleth in the congregation of the dead. So you go figure it out. Figure it out. But the men of the Lord that's cleaving on to the light, the truth in the world of darkness, those are the ones that the world is about to see. Those are the ones that the world is about to see. These are the men. These are the men that the Lord is working with. Those are the men that's been going through hell, looking down upon, treated like they not nothing. And in a wicked world, rightfully so. But the Lord is about to change this world. The transition of worlds is taking place right now. So only thing we gotta do through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai is have faith and continue to do what needs to be done, as far as just being a sacrifice. Again, the woman is supposed to be a help. That's y'all duty. Succor. A help. Let me go here. Go back to where was I at? I'll go back here. Don't do that. It's always some shit, man. The fuck I need to look at that big filth for? There we go.
What y'all say? I don't want to be equal to a man. For all of you saying you want to be equal to a man, you're on your own.
And more than likely, they're lying, because those same women are the same ones that are over here dry begging on the internet. And we really shouldn't be surprised by this as men, because I've actually been covering quite a few stories recently of lesbian women literally sharing the same complaint, because the feminine women of the lesbian couples are expecting the stud women to act like men and provide and pay for everything like a man. And now you're starting to see those women complain and say, oh, nah, I need a 50-50, or they're retiring from lesbianism and going back to dating men because they're tired.
Right. There's going to be a time where a lot of those so-called lesbians or whatever, and you got to watch them too. You got to watch them too. But they're going to be returning back to the men, And if they don't come correct, the Lord going to get rid of them. The Lord going to make things look perfect for them, and they're going to go through man, I'll bullshit you not, man. I'm hearing people cry out, man, but you got to let people suffer. You got to let people do, you got to let them, you got to let the Lord deal with them. You might want to help them, you might want to be there for them, but you're going to have to let the Lord do what he got to do. Because if those that don't want to return, repent, and come back to the truth, they're going to have to soak up what the Lord has in store for them. I say that without getting too personal, man. But right now, y'all think it's a joke when we say that the Lord is hardening our hearts. The Lord is hardening us, to endure, what's about to happen. No matter how much love we have for certain individuals and things like that, the times that we coming into, the Lord has put enough I say like this. For Yahweh Bashem Yahushua to destroy the whole world, the first world, by water, the majority of his creation, except for Noah and 7 others. The majority of his creation, as far as men and women, were destroyed. Even cattle, he only saved 7 of all the clean animals and 2 of all the unclean. So consider those things. What kind of heart, what kind of mind do you have to be to have the same mind? King David had the same mind of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And you think he was a man that was emotionally connected to a world, especially a world that was ran by wickedness? Oh man, y'all got a lot of waking up to do. I'm about to close out in a minute.
Of being the man in the relationship or expected to be so. So that in itself lets you know that what she's saying is 100% true. And I will make the case that about 99% of women would not trade places with a man whatsoever. The only exception is being able to sleep around and not get shamed for it. But in all reality, women would have a harder time sleeping around as a man compared to being a woman because they control access to sex. But somehow that logic goes out the fucking window when you bring that topic up to women. But anyway, that's a whole nother sidebar. Let's keep it.
My version of feminism is actually the men pay for everything and I make my own money and I keep it all. The version of feminism you're talking about is the one that you're trying to live by, where you take 50% of a woman's money, pay bills, and have a bang maid. I don't support that type of feminism. I support women working and going to school and having rights to vote. I don't support paying for a man's shit.
This is just so embarrassing. If you're paying 50...
You see the delusion? And that's what most women you know feel like in this new era. It's all about them, you know, the man paying for everything and then them saving their money to have a good time. Whether it's to go and chick off with Joe Blow, or whether it's to go and have a girls' night out or a girls' vacation. And there's men that actually support this bullshit. That's why them men, they let me get a precept. That's not the right wording, but I'm saying for lack of men. Let's see. It's gonna give it to me in the Apocrypha. Yeah, let's get it. Let's get it. That's not the one. It's probably gonna be right here. No, that's not it either. Don't do that. It's gotta be one of these. I'll need the extended version. All right, I'll just pull it up since y'all want to make it hard. 2nd Ezra chapter 15. I'm gonna start around verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one person shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, automatic weapons, guns, 9 millis, Dracos, what they call it, switches, the brrrah, right, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, because it's gonna be groups of individuals that's gonna be suppressed by one or two individuals that have weapons. That's gonna fight you to make sure, hey, you can't come into this place, you can't come into this city. The government is still cracking down on people. You can't go into this city now. You can't go into that city. You got your charagma. Where's your charagma at? No, you ain't got your charagma. Well, it's a chimp. It's a station right there waiting for you. But take it or get your head chopped off. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulations. Behold, saith God, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south and from the east. Well, actually, that's going to something else right now. But it's going to be great tribulation on the land, in the earth, where you're going to have to, a lot of men are not going to be known in the earth. Again, 2 Ezra 15:19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So it's going to be a lack of men out here, right? Since they so concerned about feminism, it's going to be a lack of men out here, real men. So these women, they're going to change up their ways. They're starting to see what's going on in the world, and they can't even deal with women. They see how a lot of these women, they're really delusional and out of their mind. The majority of the women out here are delusional and out of their mind based on the Western society's influence, confusion of what's a man, what's a woman, how a man's supposed to treat a woman. There's no 50-50. The Bible says a woman supposed to, from the beginning, as we just read in Genesis, a woman's supposed to help her man, not the other way around.
If you're paying 50%, you're paying for your lifestyle, not his. If you guys are living together and splitting costs, you're paying for yourself. And the fact that using a man is considered empowerment these days is absolutely horrible. The whole point of feminism was...
Oh, to speak of that, Kevin Samuels, you saw was going to that, in the 50-50, the thing, he will always tell these women that, okay, if you're going into a marriage and you how much of the weight do you want to carry? And most women would tell them like probably 30%, 20%. They want the man to take care of all of it. They want this traditional lifestyle, but they still want to maintain their modern woman feminism status, which is unbalanced. That's why men are turning away from you. That's why, look, men suffering in silence. Most women making their lives miserable. Woman acknowledges men's pain, and a lot of men, hey, there's gonna be a time where it's gonna be pursuant to Isaiah chapter 4:1. There's gonna be 7 women to 1 man. Because the Lord going to wipe out most of these men, these carnal living men. He's going to wipe most of them out because they're not considering him as their head. Okay? And these women are going to have to make a decision. Since there's more women than men in the world, they're going to make a decision to where they're going to fight. It said that they're going to fight. 7 women are going to fight for 1 man. So, amongst y'all women, to the best it goes. Whoever's the best woman to fight for that cause. All right. And that's when y'all gonna know what being being feminine really means. Cause the fight ain't about how big and bad and tough and bold you is. You know, we'll get rid of you for that shit. How feminine can you be? How much can you, from the beginning, help the man that you with, or help the man that the Lord has got you seeking? Yeah, you can't help him. It ain't about. I don't care how tough you is, bitch. That don't mean nothing. If I tell you to do something, are you gonna do it? Cause that's what the Lord's looking for from His men. If I tell you to do something, are you gonna do it? That's all He need. Same thing with His men. That's all we need for you to get in order. It's a headship coming from Yahweh on down. The Lord tell us to move like this. We tell y'all to move like this, and we all good. Other than that, that fight don't mean that you gonna go out there and be beating up bitches. That means you gonna be in order. The fight to be in order, just like us. We're fighting to be in order with Yahweh Shai. With Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. We're fighting to be in order with Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. So you're gonna have to learn what it takes for you to be in order with the man of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Period, point blank. Once again, I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna probably close out on that note.
Supposed to be about equality for everybody. Everybody! That includes men, by the way. But no, it's never been about that, and you just admitted it. It's always been about taking as much as you possibly can from men. And the whole maid thing, that's supposed to be mutually wanted. You're supposed to, like the man you're with and want to spend time with him and be with him. And you both mutually should be wanting to make each other's lives easier. And the second a man wants an actual partnership with you, equality, he's suddenly a bum or a leech. You're not going to be paying for his stuff. It's really sad because I know women like this have never genuinely loved another person, and so sad. So you meaning to tell me you want to go into a relationship where a man is your ATM, your therapist, a handyman, and your emotional support animal? And what do you do? What do you do in the relationship? Exist? You keep all your money from going to... Why would a man sign up for that? If you want to keep all your money, cool. Keep all your bills too. And, leave men alone. Because there's women out there that actually like men.
The more videos I see of women
That's pretty much all I want to. That's all I was sticking to with. I'm already at 37, 57. It's just too long already. 7 minutes. But anyway, man, I'm gonna just let it go right there. I hope this lesson is edifying to you, men, and to you Aqua, to you Akium and Aqua. Hey, man, get your life right. Get in order. We don't got too much more time to waste before the Lord actually send. His judgment is already here. Before he actually sends this into the next realm. Hey, man, get your shit together. Lord willing, With that, I'm gonna close out, giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem Racha Kodash, and double honor to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Peace and salutations to the elect of Israel. All right, till next time, Kwame Yasharala. Wa Abba Baba.